It's 7 with Pat Sevens. I'm giving you 7 topics in 7 minutes or less, with a little bit of my flavor attached to each. On today's show, there's a good chance your football team sucks. Breaking Bad is finally over. Don't worry, there won't be spoilers. And where we'll begin today's podcast, the government is about to shut down. Like me on the Facebooks, facebook.com/Pat7S. That's the number 7 with an S. And email me your thoughts and comments. Pat7s@gmail.com. Here we go. Number 1. Things you don't have to worry about if the government shuts down tonight. Social Security, because that'll stay. You'll still get your mail. Taxes will still be collected. Crap. And most of your day-to-day life really won't be affected. Things that will be affected: national parks won't be open, historic sites won't be open, and the Smithsonian Museum, that'll be shut down too. The new fiscal year starts tomorrow at 12:01 a.m., so a bill to fund the government must be passed by both chambers in Congress and signed by Obama by midnight tonight. The chances of that happening? Crappy. For me, I've been saying all along, go ahead, shut it down. But the thing that really bothers me about this whole thing, it's discouraging to see our parents' generation accomplish so little on the political stage. It's like none of the lessons they taught us have really applied here. Sticks and stones may break my bones. Well, every time the Republicans and Democrats call each other's names, they cry about it. Always be nice to people and you'll get treated nice back. That's a lie. At least in Congress it is. You do something nice, you get laughed at and called weak. You do something crappy, they do something crappy back. Shoot for the stars, our parents told us. Well, the president tried that with Obamacare, and that's resulted in a cluster F, hasn't it? The theme that I love the most that our parents tried to tell us was always think before you act, and never be afraid to try new things. Congress, the president, nobody really thinks before they act on anything anymore. And anything beyond the status quo is viewed as radical. Basically, this generation is a failure in the political stage. I thought our parents were supposed to lead by example. Instead, not only are we going to have to spoon feed you and change your diapers because none of you have proper retirement funds, we're also going to have to perform CPR on an entire country and on our political system. Still, we love you all. We just want you to practice what you preach. And not hear this infamous quote, do as I say, not as I do. Number 2. Breaking Bad is over. Now don't worry, I'm not going to give away anything about the ending. I read about the ending, I know what happens, and I can say that anytime one of my favorite shows comes to its end, I get a little sad about it. 2 thoughts about this and other shows in general. 1, I didn't watch this whole series. I realized it's on Netflix and I started watching it a while ago. I got to about season 3. Granted, I know a lot of crazy stuff happens beyond that, but I just didn't care. I liked Walter, I even liked Jesse. But overall, I just really hated Walter's family. Maybe minus his son, because at least his son had balls and would say what he was thinking. But Walter's wife, Skylar, just drove me up a wall. She just seemed like a bitch, to be perfectly honest. At no point did I connect with her and feel sorry for her during this entire show. Boo-hoo, you're pregnant and your husband has cancer. He's also working 2 jobs, one of them being a school teacher, which by the way isn't exactly glamorous. But I guess that was the point of the show. A man trying to take a hold of his manhood again. But Heisenberg maybe went a little too far. The second observation that I'd like to make about this and other shows, I liked how Breaking Bad just kind of came to a natural conclusion. At least it felt that way. A lot of shows go on for way too long. This show doesn't compare to Breaking Bad at all, but I'll give you a good example. Burn Notice. Burn Notice was about a spy who got burned and had to kind of do side jobs in Miami for a while to stay alive. It was really cool at first, until we got into season 7, and you realized we're telling the same story over and over again, and this is pretty crappy. Same thing happened to shows like Fringe and The X-Files. After a while, it just sucks. I feel like people who create these shows should have a certain amount of seasons in mind and then just end it there. I think Breaking Bad did that, though, and it didn't seem to leave people disappointed. Number 3. Speaking of shows and Netflix, they have announced that they will no longer hold back their Super HD and 3D streaming videos. It basically means you get a higher quality streaming video via their Netflix online service. That's a cool little feature. You know what would be better, though? If they would end this adorable mail service, which is the only way you can see brand new movies and shows, and start streaming, I don't know, everything. I'd rather pay a little bit more a month to get that than have Super HD. Number 4. Right now, there's a good chance your football team sucks, but not nearly as much as the Jacksonville Jaguars. They lost again this week, but that's not the news. In an effort to boost lagging ticket sales, the Jags offered anyone who bought a ticket worth $45 or more 2 vouchers for a free beer. I live in a city that has nothing but minor league sports teams. It's fun, it's good for the family, relatively inexpensive, and occasionally they do give away beers with vouchers or the purchase of a ticket or when you buy a hot dog or something. The difference, of course, between a minor league league sports team doing this, and the Jacksonville Jaguars, is pretty obvious. The minor leagues don't offer the best in the world. They offer an okay product at a quality price. The Jacksonville Jaguars belong to the NFL, a league where if you can't succeed, you're a bona fide moron. No offense to people in Jacksonville, you have a lovely town I've visited before. But move this friggin' football team. I know they suck. I'm a Buffalo Bills fan. We've sucked for a long time. We still show up, though, and they don't have to offer free beer. And if you're a Browns fan, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Number 5. Speaking of the Bills and Browns, how are they relevant and so many other teams suck? How is it that the Steelers, Redskins, Giants, and Falcons have awful records and the Bills and Browns are 2-2? Originally, the primetime game of Buffalo versus Cleveland looked like a nightmare. Respectfully speaking, watching soccer is usually much more entertaining than watching the Bills and Browns play. Yet, here we are. The Giants haven't won, the Skins are terrible, the Falcons have played a lot of good teams, but the record is the record. And I don't know what to say about the Steelers. Or, excuse me, Steelers. I feel like it's a little karma coming back on Ben Roethlisberger. A 6-pack of number 6. Here's how you know relationships are changing in the modern day. Last week, this guy posted a photo on Facebook of him holding a sign that says, quote, "I cheated on my wife, and she was ugly." The caption on the photo said that his wife told him if he got 10,000 likes on the photo, she'd take him back. Well, the photo is now well over 14,000 likes, so it looks like the viral campaign saved his marriage. I'm just going to take a guess at this. I don't think sex with another person breaks up a marriage anymore. I think people get bored. I'm not saying that's the moral or good thing to do, and I wouldn't test that theory on your wife or husband, but I think emotional cheating is much more impactful than just sex. Of course, I'm not putting too much stock in this couple. Anybody who says to their significant other, if you get 10,000 likes on a photo on Facebook, I'll take you back, clearly has their priorities in the wrong place. I can put a picture of a kitten on Facebook with a caption that says, "Like me if you think I'm cute," and I'll get 50,000 likes. Number 7. I want your thoughts on this, pat7s@gmail.com. Instead of candy this year, my wife and I are thinking about handing out glow sticks, which kids do love. We're doing this mostly because we're cheap. You can get like 300 of those things for $25. But if you're a parent, or just have an opinion, is that a cool idea or a lame idea? Also on Twitter, @pat7s.